After 2 on the road, Las Vegas Lights back home. And it's the dog days of August. Dog night at Cashman Field. First ever visit from Oakland roots to Cashman Field to play Las Vegas Lights tonight. Presented by De Castro Verde Law Group. And good evening, alongside former Houston Dynamo midfielder Andrew Driver. I'm Matt Peterson. Las Vegas has struggled defensively as of late. Part of that has been reshuffled lineups for Steve Cherundolo in the back four.
Yeah, it's a typical mid-season stretch. You start to have a few injuries. The coach, Cherundolo, has had to make a few adaptations, bring some midfielders playing defensive. They've really struggled with 2 defeats on the road. They'll be happy to get back home to Cashman tonight. Unfortunately, they're playing against the Roots team that is coming in with a 3 games unbeaten and look like they're in their best form of the season. First
ever meeting was July 10th at Las Positas College, a 2-1 Las Vegas win over Oakland Roots. But Andrew, let's shift focus to the Las Vegas defense as of late. They had a nice run of form defensively. It's been slipping a bit as of late.
Yeah, I think when you have to play midfielders at the back line, you may struggle. Positionally, they're not going to have it. You see in this instance here, no real danger, but a long ball at the top, and you see the gap between the defenders. They're not tight, they're all over the place, really. And you see here, they get punished in the 3rd minute. A great ball in from Herzog and a good finish at the back post. You see there at the back post, not really aware of where they are. Yeboah are not a defender. So recently, when you make those changes, it's hard to stay compact at the back. Hopefully tonight they can get some of those guys back into position and it'll be a stronger back line for the Lights.
This is Wednesday night. It was 1-1. It's about the 40th minute, but then 2 goals in 2 minutes for San Diego. It ended 5-1.
Yeah, and when you're shipping goals like that, the confidence is low. It's difficult, but when you're not experienced in those positions and you're playing young guys out in unrecognized positions, it's difficult to keep tight. And you see here, they ended up getting thumped 5-1. But it's a learning curve for these guys. They are young players and they've got to learn these things. Even playing out of position, you have to learn different roles, and it'll do these guys good.
So a learning night for Steve Cherundolo's group. He told us after the game that, look, guys are playing out of position, guys are adjusting the back line. Some of the mistakes that were made early in the season are being made now. And meanwhile, for Oakland Roots, Wall Fall has been outstanding. This was a stunner, earning a point in New Mexico on Wednesday.
Yes, an absolutely stunning strike, isn't it? Unfortunately tonight, not starting, but he definitely will make an impact at some point. It's coincided that the Roots have started to go into a little bit of form since he's returned from a long layoff. You add to him and Quincy Ameriquay. This team has dangerous players, and I'll expect to see him come on and make a big impact off the bench.
2 goals last 3 games for Wall Fall, both direct free kick goals from outside the 18-yard box. A big player, the captain, has fortified this Oakland Roots team. Vegas and Oakland, lineups and kickoff when we come back to Cashman.
Whoever you are, you're one of us. Whatever you want, we'll get you there. If you're not like anyone else, you're just what we're looking for. It's time to enroll in your future. Nevada State College.
Yo creo que Subaru de Las Vegas es un lugar diferente a los demás. Tenemos mucha gente que habla español en todos los departamentos. Cuando ustedes vengan a Subaru de Las Vegas, no tengan miedo, no hay presión de comprar carro. Siempre tratamos a las personas como familia y nunca como un negocio. Definitivamente yo recomiendo Subaru para la gente de habla hispana. Es una gran experiencia.
Mantenimiento gratuito cuando compra o alquila un Subaru nuevo. SubaruLasVegas.com.
Believe me, with a head as big as yours, there's nothing better than the Highlander. The Highlander will seat up to 8 people.
Ooh, John has piqued Cash's interest. He got him with the economic hybrid engine. Cash is low on cash, but thankfully, John has an attractive finance offer.
I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Las Vegas Light Soccer is presented by the Castro Verde Law Group. They treat you like family. By Finlay Toyota, where John Barr will do anything to sell you a car. And by Jarritos. It's super good. Set for kickoff at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Las Vegas in black, Oakland Roots in its white and black uniforms and underway. Matt Peterson with former Houston Dynamo midfielder Andrew Driver. The referee is Matthew Corrigan, direct from Oakland off the kickoff, and that's Quincy Amarikwa, who spent last season with Las Vegas. And Andrew Driver, what are you watching early on?
Well, I think the first thing I've noticed is Bryce Duke seemed to be a little bit further up the field to begin the game there. As El Asmari might be a little bit further back, but you know how Duke likes to go in between, flexible, move around the pitch. So I'm looking for him to have a big game tonight, but it'll be interesting to see Oakland. First time I've got to see them in detail, see how they perform.
Denny Masovsky starting up front with Christian Torres and Bruce Elmismari. A 4-3-3 formation for Steve Trundolo. Good ball to the back post, and it's cleared by Tony Leon. For Las Vegas, Eric Olowski starts in the back, along with Alvaro Quezada, who's played outside back. He's played on the wing in the more advanced position, but been a changing back for the last few weeks for Steve Trundolo. And up front for Oakland, it's Quincy Amarikwa. They'll play in a 4-5-1 formation, so no Bogilla, no Allen starting tonight. Wall also a reserve to begin things for Jordan Farrell and Oakland Roots.
Yeah, the Roots obviously started the season quite poorly. It was a struggle to begin with, but they're starting to get the likes of Fall back from injury. They're starting to go into a little bit of form, and it's going to be a difficult night for the Lights against a team that is looking confident and looking to carry on a good run. I think for the Lights, the return of Quezada is huge for them tonight. They've had to shuffle the pack a little bit to have his athleticism back there, and his experience will be huge for the team.
As Steve Trundolo, he said at 1-1 his team was playing very well, but once the second goal went in for San Diego, things changed quite quickly on Wednesday night. And that goal came in the 71st minute for Jack Blake, and then a minute later, Tumi Moshabani made it 3-1, and he said, we stopped playing the way we want to play over the final 20 minutes plus, and that was disappointing.
It's not like the Lights. I think there's one thing this season, the character's been there. They haven't stopped in games, so for that to happen was probably more worrying for the coach than the result itself. The Lights, obviously, all season have kept themselves in games when they've looked up against it, so to lose 5-1 in that manner is very worrying.
Amarikwa, nice hold-up play, leaves it. That's Leone tracking back. Olowski on the right back position. Quezada's the left back. Familiar partnership of Tony Leon and Cici Uche for Las Vegas.
It's good to see Amarikwa back at Cashman Field. I think last year was a difficult season for him. He came in late and coming off an injury. Maybe didn't set the world alight, so it would be interesting to see him this season if he's match fit and to see what would potentially the Lights are missing.
Match odds brought to you by Westgate Superbook. And what stands out to you about those numbers, Andrew?
Lights.
Here's a cross, and it's over the back line from Amarikwa. Corner kick coming for Oakland.
I think it's the first time the Lights have been favoured this season. Obviously, Oakland, bottom of the league, have struggled for long spells this season, so it's good to see the Lights favourite, and hopefully they can go on and capitalise on that.
That's Soya Takahashi, 25-year-old from Japan. Previous experience in J2 and J1 in Japan. Here's the corner kick. Beyond everybody, all the way to the far side. Throw into Las Vegas Lights. That's the left back tonight. Alvaro Quezada on loan from LAFC. And there is Jordan Farrell, replaced Dario Pot in late April. He was the prior coach, but a lot of roots in the Bay Area for Jordan Farrell. He played at Cal State, East Bay, and Hayward. Played semi-pro soccer in Germany before his coaching career began with the Sacramento Republic Academy, and time as an assistant coach with University of Pacific. He was the technical director before replacing Pot as head coach in April.
It's obviously very highly thought of in the Bay Area with Oakland. He's had numerous positions, obviously a stalwart for the club, and he's in his first real season as the first team manager proper. He'll be happy with the way they've started to turn it around a little bit.
Interestingly, part of that turnaround has been Wallfall, who will come off the bench tonight. It's been a busy schedule. They had some cancellations and some games postponed due to COVID-19 protocols. So now the month of August, very busy for Oakland Roots. They'll see a lot of midweek games. They were in New Mexico. Now they're in Las Vegas on a hot Saturday night. There's a direct ball over the top. Headed back to Rando. It makes a nice dive to his right off the header of Uche.
Yeah, and that's probably why you see the likes of Fall being on the bench tonight. After a long injury, many games in a short space of time. You don't want to overstretch them too early. But yeah, they're obviously starting to get a little bit more strength in depth. And if you can go on a run, we've mentioned this numerous times this season, if you can go a run of 4 or 5 games of winning in a row, you're right in the hunt for the playoffs.
Here are the keys to the game presented by Finlay Chevy.
Yeah, the Lights obviously want to create chances, move the ball around, keep hold of possession in the heat. You don't want to be chasing shadows all day, trying to win the ball back. And the Roots, obviously, you saw the goal for set pieces from Fall. That's probably going to be big for them. They want to keep the game tight and go on. And when you keep the game tight as a team that's bottom of the league, you've got to capitalize on those set pieces. They've got to be a major part of the game plan.
93 degrees in Las Vegas, a breeze of 14 miles per hour out of the south. Could certainly be more hot this time of year in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's probably a nice, comfortable night for the likes of Las Vegas. Still, wouldn't be comfortable running around for 90 minutes in it, that's for sure.
It's the third straight week with the Wednesday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Sunday for Oakland Roots. Beginning August 4th with a 1-0 home loss to Phoenix. And Oakland beat LA2 at home last weekend. A scoreless draw at home to Sacramento, and then the point against New Mexico. There's a nice layoff from Amarikwa, shot blocked from the top of the area. Roma cannot get to it. It's been mostly Oakland here in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, they've started very bright. Amarikwa up front, using his experience and his body to hold the ball in. He's done it a couple of times now. He's obviously the figurehead of the Roots attack, and the Lights are going to have to try and stop those balls into his feet, because that's where he's strong with his back to goal.
There's Duke and Torres pressuring for Las Vegas. Trying to play direct after the win. Five players on loan from LAFC tonight for Las Vegas. Bryce Duke, Danny Masovsky, Christian Torres, Tony Leon, and Alvaro Quezada. And exciting news for Julian Gaines, the 18-year-old from Austin, signed this week by LAFC. And they had to send allocation money to Toronto FC to move up the waiver order to get him. Coach Durandolo told us by phone this week that although he is injured, LAFC did not want to risk losing him, so they made the move. And an 18-year-old from Las Vegas to LAFC. Congratulations to Julian Gaines.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Good ball up this left side. Another build up from Oakland. Clip ball in, and it's headed clear by CC Uche.
And that's what this arrangement between the two clubs is for. And as a player who's playing tonight, and you're seeing the likes of Gaines getting into the team, Christos Tomo getting into the LAFC team, it shows you have a chance. And if you do perform for the Lights, you have every opportunity to go on and play in the MLS. And that's exactly what these games are for the Lights. They want to come and impress. They want to impress the fans of Las Vegas and improve on their career and go as far as they can go.
Uche, well-timed step. DeRoma gets there. Here's CC Uche. All the way back to Alex Rando from New York at college soccer, Virginia. Tonight, his 13th consecutive start for Las Vegas Lights. Sepulveda back with Tony Leon.
Another thing you can say about the likes of Gaines and Crisostomo going over to the LAFC is those two guys have probably been the two most consistent, probably the two of the hardest working players on the team. So it isn't just talent that's getting taken there, it's having the right attitude, turning in and giving their all every week for the Lights team, and because of that effort they've been rewarded.
Julian Gaines signed on Thursday. LAFC acquired the #1 spot at the MLS waiver order from Toronto FC in exchange for $50,000 in general allocation money. It's a direct throw-in, well defended by Leon. And that's for next year, and then the 21 spot in the MLS waiver order. On 12 games for Las Vegas for Gaines. And John Thornton said he's a talented and exciting young player who's played well for Las Vegas. Looking forward to continuing his work at LAFC as he continues to develop as a person and a player. Here's Quezada watching it. And it's kept in well. DeRoma will build out of the back with Sepulveda. CC Uche. Block clearance thrown to Las Vegas. But again, it's this pipeline from Barca Residency Academy in Arizona, where Julian Gaines played in 2019 and played for the U19s. That's where Bryce Duke also played. Many of these Las Vegas players came out of that Barca Residency Academy. Luz y Fuerza Las Vegas. One of the great supporters group along with Electric Company. At Cashman Fields.
Yeah, they brought the energy every week, haven't they? They come out in numbers, they have great energy over that side. And it's good. I'm happy to see tonight the Lights shoot in the opposite direction in the first half, so when the second half comes and you're in need of that goal, the energy behind it on that side from the supporters groups can really drive it forward.
And one more from Barca Residency Academy with exciting news this week. Roberto Molina, who has El Salvadorian roots. He spent half of his childhood there along with Southern California. He was called up to the El Salvador senior national team for a friendly tonight against Costa Rica. Could be featuring for El Salvador in some World Cup qualifiers this fall. So exciting for Molina getting the call up to his national team.
It's fantastic. And we say this every week, the advancement of the USL Championship is not an uncommon thing now to see these guys go and playing for their national teams. And a great opportunity, and well deserved for Molina, who's really come on this season. In some games he has been probably the best player on the pitch.
Good break here from Oakland. Amarikwa off to the left. And cleared by Sepulveda. And still Andrew only 20 years of age.
Yeah, obviously 20 years of age for a young man to get that opportunity. It is fantastic, and this is where, as a player, you'll learn, you'll grow by playing with compatriots who possibly a lot more experienced there. You go and see a different way of playing football.
Impressive from Oakland on the road in this environment. Both teams coming off midweek games. Las Vegas at San Diego on Wednesday, Oakland at New Mexico. Jordan Farrell looking on in his coach's area.
I think they've started this game very impressive. They kept hold of possession extremely well, moving the ball very well. Las Vegas not really getting too much of the play. They need to maybe just have a little bit of a moment here, keep hold of possession for a while.
Here's Duke. Has options. Duke, nice pass for this right side. El Mesmari to the back post. It's headed away and cleared. Had a chance to shoot there. El Mesmari tried to play it right across the top of the 6.
Yeah, great ball by Duke. The pace on the pass was absolutely perfect. Put it into the track of El Mesmari, and you're just screaming for him to hit it, and you have a little bit of confidence, just hit it across the goal. If a goalkeeper parries it, you've got two guys running in. He's tried to play a cute cross, and the defenders were able to get in and clear the danger.
Nevada State College is the only four-year comprehensive public institution in the state of Nevada. Be bold, be great, be state. Here's Duke showing some boldness in the attacking third, off to the right for Olaski. Olaski, good step, top of the area. Torres shot blocked, second chance for Torres. Torres spinning, Torres finally dealt with well, but that would have been spectacular if he was able to get a shot away.
So the nifty footwork almost got him through, wasn't it? You felt for a second he'd done it, and unfortunately for him, the defenders just had the momentum, but real good, promising play. Bryce Duke getting on the ball a little bit, making runs, being direct, and I love this from Miloski. Confident and running at the defender straight away. You put him on his heels, good inside, good ball. First strike wasn't great for Torres, but he did fantastically well, and he's so unfortunate not to get away with that.
Lasky, a couple games ago at home against Phoenix, he had a similar move, cut onto his left, laid on, curled it towards the upper corner, very nearly a goal. This has fallen for Oakland here. Uche in retreat, Rando punches it away, cleared straight in the air. Here comes Rando to make the claim.
End to end now, isn't it? Great start to the game. That was a good opportunity for the Roots. Rando, as he has been many times this season, in the right spot. I think he's a very accomplished shot stopper, and again there, a comfortable save, but end to end stuff.
Masovsky lost it. Oakland will build out of the back. Here's its goalkeeper, Paul Blanchette. He's from Palo Alto in the Bay Area, played at Loyola Marymount. Spent 2020 with Rio Grande Valley in the USL Championship. Before that, New York Cosmos, but he signed July 6th. He already has a shutout, and tonight's his 7th start. So we see the Dignity Health injury report. Ejmadu remains out for Las Vegas. Morad and Weir for Oakland.
To say we're middle of the season, that isn't an extensive injury report, is it? You do have the likes of Gaines, who is, I think, potentially struggling with a little bit of a knock right now. So maybe one not on the list, but to say that we are where we are, the team's they're fairly healthy.
Andrew, we saw Steve Tarundolo speaking with the fourth official. We've watched Tarundolo all season. He's not one that asks for too much from the referees, very calm in his coach's area. What would you guess he is talking about through 17 minutes with the fourth official?
To be honest, I don't know. There's not been any wild challenges. I think the game's been fairly fair. It's been end to end. It's been good football. I'm not sure he isn't someone to be complaining about an issue for nothing. So it would be interesting to know what he is discussing.
Direct ball over the top. This is good from Oakland. They have 4 in the box. The cross is to this left side with Kai Green. Green will pull it out. Wait for support. Has a well-timed run. Good challenge from Olaski. He got it right on the edge of the box. Now it's Duke. He'll slow things down.
Yeah, that was a bit of a dangerous attack, wasn't it, for Oakland? The ball fell onto the left side to Kai Green, and luckily for the Lights, the ball held up. It didn't fall quickly enough. If the ball had fallen faster, Green might have been able to do a first-time strike.
Olaski. Cici Uche from Georgia, played at Duke and Ohio State. Now DeRoma. Good turn from Sepulveda. Servain now off to the left. Nice run from Quezada, the left back. It's Quezada! Saved by Blanchette. Well, Quezada very comfortable in the advanced positions. That's a left back pushing forward for Las Vegas.
That's what Quezada brings to the team, isn't it? He's not only versatile, he has quality on the ball, and you see here, great pace, good confidence, running at the defender, inside, outside, and then back inside, and in the end it was a real good strike and a comfortable but good save.
Love the recognition there from Quezada. Coach Tarundolo has told us all season that if you're in the attacking parts of the field, we'll finish this thought in a moment as Duke stands over it. Corner kick. Olaski clips it to the back post and intended by Blanchette. He has said you need to recognize when you're in attacking position. I love that Quezada recognized that. Instead of crossing it to a crowded area, he went into the area himself.
Yeah, and as the season's gone on, I think the Lights players and the more experienced players have actually started to be a little bit more direct in those parts. We mentioned earlier El Mesmari crossed when potentially should have had a shot. Quezada had nothing else on his mind. He turned the defender inside out, and all he wanted to do was get that shot. And if you don't beat direct and take those opportunities, you'll never score.
Nice turn from Quezada, playing with confidence. Alvaro Quezada! Shot is blocked.
You've seen those, the fullbacks, Iloski and Quezada, both very advanced. Quezada again, nice footwork and to come inside, and this time the shot didn't find its way past the defenders, but both attacking fullbacks are really advanced. But this is where it might be an issue when you lose the ball in positions like that and your fullbacks are so far forward.
DeRoma went for a challenge. Slip pass. And they're almost daring Sepulveda to make that pass, because I thought after the first two he's had, they needed more pressure and the ball turned over, but it feels like Sepulveda's going to have license to pick his head up, get around that center circle, and find those wide areas.
Yeah, that's what he's needed. He needs to do that like he just did. He's just played out from the back. He needs to pick those passes. But at that number 6 role, you need Sepulveda, and when Christos was playing, to pull the strings. They dictate the tempo of the game. You want them on the ball, playing those passes through the midfield to beat the lines of the Oakland midfield. You saw it perfectly there with Sepulveda played the ball into the number 10 position.
It's Kai Green, Emra Clementa, Soya Takahashi, and Memo Diaz across the back for Jordan Farrell in Oakland. Here is Soya Takahashi, the 25-year-old Japanese outside back. Throw into Las Vegas.
The camouflage route strips don't do any favors numbers, do they?
There's Steve Cherundolo. A good pressure from Duke, but Oakland wiggles out of it. Nice work right there from Duke to fight back and win it.
Good from Duke. You can see he's bang up for it tonight, isn't he? He's getting on the ball, he's being direct, and his work rate there, you see when he's in that mood, he can really influence a game.
Musovski lost his footing, got up gingerly, now he's moving again. Here's El Mesmari. DeRoma with Sisi Uche.
See Sepulveda again there, getting on the ball, having that number 6, and then you have the likes of DeRoma and Duke around him who are the real ball players and have that creativity. It's a strong midfield for the Lights.
Goal kick now to Oakland. Established in 2002, Nevada State is a member of the Nevada System of Higher Education, as the second tier in the state's 3-tier higher education system. Positioned between the 2-year community colleges, such as College of Southern Nevada, and the doctorate granting research institutions like UNLV and UNR. Nevada State College. Good work from Musovski. Tried to feed Torres. Corner kick coming for Las Vegas.
The Lights have turned it a little bit here, haven't they? They were a little bit quiet to begin the game. They've started to get a little bit more possession, starting to look more dangerous, and you see the big guys coming forward here. I think tonight this might be an opportunity for them.
Arito's corner kick from Las Vegas. Uche nearly got there. Strong header straight in the air. Back in the mix, Iloski, and Blanchett comes out strong.
I don't know, it seems to be every time we watch a Lights game and there's an Iloski on the pitch, they seem to score. They have that elusive ability that him and his 3 brothers. But I do like how he's playing right back. I don't think it's his natural position, but he does get himself in some good positions from right back, Eric Iloski.
Brian, his older brother, scored for Orange County in the same game about a month ago. Milan plays for Real Salt Lake, Real Monarchs. He scored against Las Vegas over a month ago. Now, 3 brothers playing in the same league at the same time. Pretty remarkable.
It must be difficult for the parents to choose where they go every weekend. How do you not show favoritism?
Well, they watch on ESPN Plus. That's how they do it.
He has come onto his game now, Eric Losky. I do like watching him play. He's improving. He's playing out of position, and it looks a little bit Bryce Duke there. He's cowering over a little bit in the centre of the pitch. I'm not sure if there's an issue, but no, Ilosky's really improving, and he creates chances even though he's playing on as a right back.
A deeper posture here for Las Vegas than we've seen in prior home games. They're setting their line of confrontation around the center circle. We've seen them high press at other times this season.
It's not really surprising when you've just come off a 5-1 defeat, is it? I think maybe the coach's message will be, let's not concede early doors, let's keep it tight and then see how the game develops. But the last thing you'll want to do is see the team ship 5 goals again. Maybe gain some confidence and then grow into the game and start pressing as the game gets into its rhythm.
Good win from Duke. Duke's taken down. Free kick coming to Las Vegas. There's Emre Clementa. Born in Montenegro, settled in Mainz, Germany, moved to Oakland as a youngster before settling in Walnut Creek. There's his challenge on Duke.
It's a sore one, landed right on the ankle. But he's had 10 caps for Montenegro, hasn't he? That's no small feat there. Not known as one of the most successful nations, but it is a good standard, and they have made some upsets. I'm pretty sure they almost beat England at one point in the recent past.
You surprised no booking for that challenge there?
A little bit. Duke ran past the defender, and he's going advanced into it. It's a bit of a professional foul. I wouldn't have been surprised if I saw it, but this early in the game, if the referee gives a yellow card there, he's setting an early precedent and may find it difficult later in the game when the cards start to pick up.
Delivery from Duke, set up by Sepulveda. Nice ball, headed wide. Mosovski was there, perhaps in an offside position, but he did not put it on target.
You can see how disappointed he is in himself, isn't he? It's a difficult one. The ball's coming over the top from behind, so he's having to try and glance it. He doesn't know how much purchase he wants to put on it, and he's taken his eye off it at the last second, hasn't had any purchase on it, and he's rightfully disappointed in himself.
That was Alvaro Quezon. I beg your pardon with the delivery. He's had a bright 28 minutes. Few forays forward for the left back position. That was a perfectly weighted ball. Here's Ilosky heading back to Rando, just enough on that ahead of Ameriquois. Mosovski, 3 goals in 17 appearances to go 3 assists on loan from LAFC this season. He's from Henderson, Nevada, a star at Liberty High School, set a few Nevada goal scoring records for career and single season goals.
It's got a bit difficult for him at times because he's been in and out of the team because he's been getting called up for LAFC, so he hasn't had the run of games some of the guys who have for the Lights this season. So he'll be. That's probably why he's disappointed. He feels like he maybe wants to score more than 3 goals this season, and that's an opportunity where if he scored 3 goals in the previous games, he's gonna bury that.
Ilosky. Clementa clears. Good win from Duke. And Duke earns a free kick, and there's a booking. Similar spot as what we saw just a few minutes ago in an advanced position. That time the card does come out.
No choice there for the referee, was it? Exactly the same situation. Bryce Duke, he's taken it pretty well. If I'm him and I've had 2 situations where I'm running at the defence and I'm fouled from behind like that, I'm not happy. Duke, it's always going to happen to Duke though, because they know he is a quality player. he's always going to get fouled because he's clever and can turn players like he just did.
Free kick coming for Bryce Duke, about 35 yards from goal. Max Ornstill picks up the yellow card from our referee tonight, Matthew Corrigan. Corrigan will sort things out between Kai Green and Tony Leon on the far side. Free kick here for Duke. Clips it backside, it's headed over the bar. Good look there for CC Uche around the 6-yard box.
Yeah, great ball into a dangerous area from Duke there. Uche at the back post, he's gone to head it direct at goal. I think that's a situation where maybe you just take the pace off the ball and just try and glance it back across the 6-yard box and have the runner. I think Masovsky's there. He's maybe just got a little bit under it. It was a good jump, maybe that a couple of inches too high for Uche to be able to control it. I think in the end it was actually given as an offside anyway.
Strong header from Leo. Clementa's header picked up by Takahashi. Good work from Torres to get there initially. One back by Oakland. %58 possession for Oakland so far.
I think the majority of that will have been in the early stages of the game. I think the lights have actually started to come back into it in the last 10 minutes.
Each team with 3 shots in the early going. Holoski, nice first time ball for Bryce Duke. Picks up his head, diagonal run from Masovsky. Here's Duke. Back for Holoski. Now Sepulveda. You see Sepulveda's confidence growing game by game.
I think he's done very well. Obviously, Chrysostomo played in that position the majority of the season, and he hasn't played as much as he would have liked, Sepulveda, but I think he's actually come in and done extremely well when he has played.
First, Elmas Mari pushing forward. That's good defending there. The Japanese left back, Soya Takahashi.
Takahashi's actually started the game particularly well. He seems good on the ball, but he's obviously pretty good defensively as well. Elmas Mari tried to take him for pace down the line. Unfortunately, didn't have the strength or the pace to match him.
Nevada State places a special emphasis on the advancement of a diverse and largely underserved student population, many of whom are the first generation in their families to attend college. Nevada State College. Header won by DeRoma. There's Sepulveda. Torres dropping down. Tries to find Masovsky with the direct ball. Then Sepulveda steps up. Nice work from him. Quezada goes down. No whistle from the referee. That was nice from Sepulveda. Yeah, the initial ball, then he joined the attack and won the second ball just seconds later. Leon, Master Shingard plays on.
Yes, it's good play. Very confident from Rando. Nice ball in, and I like that. They're having the confidence to play out from the back to beat the first press, and that's what you need to do in this Houston Heat. If you can manage to do that and keep the opposition the Las Vegas Heat. If you can do that, you can tire teams out very quickly, and that's what happens. Teams start getting frustrated and they resort to kicking.
Well, there's Frank DeRoma. He was partnered with Daniel Crisostomo. Now he's partnered with the man who just helped him out, Nathan Sepulveda, as we see the hard challenge from Ameriqua. And I asked Coach Tarundolo yesterday about the shifting roles. Crisostomo is primarily an LAFC player. He'll be back and forth at times. But how does that change the roles at all for DeRoma and Sepulveda? And Coach Tarundolo said Crisostomo was more of an offensive player, and he's asked Nathan Sepulveda to take on more of the defensive responsibilities. And I think DeRoma is going to have to shift back and help out Sepulveda with those defensive responsibilities. So one goes, one stays, both helping each other out. But I think one of the lessons is DeRoma must help out Sepulveda, who's a younger player, without Crisostomo in there.
Yeah, and of course, and you need all three central midfielders switching and covering for each other. The Roma has the ability, doesn't he? He's got a great engine. He'll be up and down, and he's very good on the ball as well. I do feel, yeah, Sepulveda's particularly good at the defensive duties. He's got great stature. He's a strong boy, and you can see there he's holding it. But you see, the Roma here is further back, trying to get on the ball. So maybe you are right. Both of them are going to share a little bit more of the defensive duties.
Because we'd see at times early this season, Roma would go forward, he's good on the ball, he's comfortable on the ball, because he knew Crisostomo was behind him. Bit different with Sepulveda, less experienced player, asking a bit more of him if the ball turns over and Roma's kind of field.
Yeah, you don't want to leave, and especially when you've just had 5 goals shipped in away from home, you don't want to be throwing too many bodies forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Roma has been told to maybe be a little bit more hesitant when going forward, just because after losing 5 goals, you don't want to go behind early in the game again. Like what we mentioned earlier, you keep the shape a little bit, and you also throw in the fact that Duke's there. They're kind of playing like a 4-4-2 tonight, with Duke playing so progressed up the field.
Nice win in midfield. It's on here for Torres. Has Duke to his right. 2 versus 4. Off to Duke. He'll pull it back. Slick turn from Duke. Picks his head up. Laid off by Sepulveda. Bruce Elmasmari now. Good passing here from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I would have liked Duke to be a little bit more positive there. It's a nice turn to come back, but it kind of took the sting out of the attack. The defenders retreating back into his own box, and by pulling back Duke there, it kind of let him off the hook a little bit. I think if he took his touch forward, it really gave the defenders something to think about.
Here is Frank DeRoma. Trying to clip it from Musovski. Bruce Elmasmari. Wide to the left. Here's Duke. Duke this time will try his luck. Didn't miss the upper corner by much.
That's very cheeky. I like a little toe bunt every now and then. It's especially those, they're a clever shot to have, because you can really catch the goalkeeper off. You see here, he's just taking it, and with a toe punt like that on the outside of his foot, it's hard for the goalkeeper to predict where it's coming, because it's a different shooting action. They didn't get much pace on it this time, but good thinking by Duke.
See Musovski there telling Matthew Corrigan, the referee, it was deflected. Really hard to tell but I know if it was touched or not.
To be honest, I didn't notice on the first time, and it's easy to see on a replay, but even when it's difficult on that, you can't be too strict on the referees at times.
Takahashi with the quick throw in for Ameriqua, won here by Alaski. Sepulveda, a bright prospect for LAFC, 18 years of age. Not a full LAFC player, but one that came up with Sporting CA Arsenal before FC Golden State. Signed a Las Vegas Lights contract in April. Kai Green for Oakland. That's an excellent ball headed away by Tony Leon. Oakland regathers. Tons of Oakland shirts committed forward here for this attack. Slip pass. Good work to Roma. He closed it down well at the end line.
Yeah, excellent work from the Roma, doubling up on the attacker. It looked like he'd got the step on him for a second, but he hustled back in, and that could have been a dangerous attack for the Roos, but hard work from the Roma prevented it.
Nice turn from Torres. Duke lost it. Good defending. In transition, there he is again. Soya Takahashi, the left back, sliding over to the middle of the field to win that ball.
Little nutmeg.
7 minutes to halftime, no score. Second ever meeting. Vegas won on the road back on July 10th. Nodded down by Ameriqua. Patient defending against Sepulveda. Didn't dive in, just waited and then won it.
That's the danger that Ameriqua comes in. He's an absolute handful for the defender. He's managed to, the defender was likely, Leon was likely to be favourite. Ameriqua is all arms and body, and he manages to somehow get the head on the ball, and that could have fallen into the path if Sepulveda wasn't aware and wasn't thinking of his defensive duties. That could have been a dangerous opportunity.
Quezada tried to find Masovsky, it swept away. Johannes Harish from Eritrea moved to Oakland age 14, played at Holy Names University, and joined Oakland for the NISA season 2019. A lot of players with Oakland ties to the Bay Area on this team, Harish included.
What are the rules on hydration breaks? Does this not feel like it's a little too close to half time if it is a hydration break, or if they're just taking the advantage of, obviously not an advantage of someone being injured, but taking this opportunity?
Good question, Andrew. I think it's designed to be in about a 10-minute window in the middle of the half, but referee's discretion, you could make it a hydration break at this point. More than 7,200 students, Nevada State is recognized as one of the fastest growing colleges in the nation, the fastest growing in Nevada. Nevada State College, be bold, be great, be state. Oh, dog night at Cashman. Saw the dogs on the field before the match. And they're in the crowd. Harris looks okay, good to see him back on his feet.
Good to see the stands full again, and the energy that the supporters groups bring. It's definitely been an entertaining season for those guys and for us watching.
Harris is age 28. You see Steve Trundler there. Speaking of the Julian Gaines signing, he said he's been injured for a few weeks. He'll remain out for a few more. Really signed for his overall development potential for the future. Really has to finish his potential. We see the dogs on dog night. Some of those therapy dogs.
Wonder if there was odds set on one of the dogs getting loose onto the pitch.
Doggy Olympics at halftime, Andrew. Let's see how Vegas responds. Coach Tarundolo said up until the second goal for San Diego on Wednesday, they were very good and kind of lost control of the match. After that, really not a bad performance in a tough environment until the second goal, but very tough to give up 2 goals in 2 minutes as Vegas did. Nice switch. Elmas Mari settles. Oloski on the overlap. Elmas Mari just over the bar. May have been touched by Blanchett. Good strike from the Mexican.
Yeah, really nice. Great overlapping run from Miloski, and Elmas Mari came inside onto that left foot. And it's kind of a strange one. If it had gone either side, it's in, because he's managed to get enough loft on the ball that the goalkeeper's really scampering back. And just a little bit, 5 yards to the left, it's in the net. And I think he's made a good save there, to be honest.
You know, it's a small thing here, but I like the run from Oloski, because then it makes the defender have to think Takahashi had to respect the run. He has to move 2 feet to his left. It opens up a shooting lane there for Elmas Mari.
It makes the opportunity, doesn't it? He's, if he doesn't make that run, then it's an easy job for the defender. All he has to do is show him down the line, but that just the hint of the run gives the opportunity for Elmas Mari to go inside. I've actually played as a fullback before, and there's nothing worse than when you make that run and the attacker goes inside and shoots every time, because eventually you're like, should I keep making this run? It's a very unselfish thing to do.
Oakland has been pretty good on the road tonight. They really controlled the first 10 minutes or so. Bruce Elmas Mari making his second start tonight. His 5th appearance, did not feature back on July 10th. Had just signed a couple days prior. Made his debut for Las Vegas July 27th. A lot of hope for him, the 19-year-olds. Joined the Pachuca Academy age 13. Had a great run at the U17 World Cup in Brazil 2 years ago. Mexico lost the final 2-1 in that tournament. 8 appearances, 5 starts. Good commitment with numbers for Oakland pushing forward. How about that block? CC Uche got down right at the right time. Tonight, a good goal scoring opportunity for Oakland.
Yeah, great through ball and a good run from deep for the Oakland roots. And Uche had to track him all the way and ended up with one of those where he tried to hit it early, which is a dangerous thing for the goalkeeper and the defender, but luckily Uche tracked him all the way.
Deflected all the way back to Rando.
It was a good run from Hernandez from the roots to go in behind. That's a difficult one for the defenders to pick up if it comes from so deep. We mentioned earlier that the Lights obviously shipped 5 goals in the last game. It's 0-0, but I think Coach Trundle will be pleasantly happy the way the team's defended. They've not given up any real big opportunities, and I'm sure that's what he wanted, to just get through to early in the game. Don't give up any opportunities and build the confidence back up.
Jose Hernandez came to play tonight. He's number 18 with long hair in midfield. A couple years at UCLA, played for LA Galaxy 2, Real Salt Lake, Real Monarchs, last year OKC Energy. Here's Duke on the takeover. Has Quezada, willing run inside the box, shot from Musovski, saved. Brilliant attack from Las Vegas. And Blanchett keeps it scoreless.
Really good attack, really good attack. Again, we talk about the fullbacks flying forward. Torres was a good turn. Duke has the option of Quezada on the left, but he's used that as a dummy and a no-look pass into Musovski, and he's done all the hard work. A great turn. The defenders, he's left the defender for dead, and he just needed to maybe take that little bit extra split second to compose himself, to get a little bit more purchase on the delivery. It's a difficult skill when you're turning like that. When you're turning the defender and using your body, it's hard to really get the power on the strike, but real good play from the Lights.
Look at that ball forward from Musovski. He does well against 2. It's Musovski. Stop and go. Shot is blocked and clear.
Another great ball into Musovski's feet, and again Musovski's touch is absolutely fantastic. He's got great strength, and he's got the ball out his feet. He was unlucky that the strike was blocked by the defender, but promising from Musovski and promising from the Lights.
Quezada from about 30 yards out. And you hear from coaches all the time, next play. Next play, don't worry about the miss. Stay tuned in. The ball's going to find your feet soon. It did there for Musovski.
Oh, if I'm a striker and I'm not scoring goals, I'm worried if I'm not getting chances. Musovski's 2 chances there. That's what a good striker does. They'll keep it, and eventually you might get lucky. A deflection will go in. All you need is him to continue to keep putting himself in there. His touch on the last 2 opportunities shows his class. He's definitely got class. If he keeps going like that, he'll bag a goal.
Goal kick from Blanchett. Americois won the header. Final seconds of this first half. Here comes Rando. Alex Rando came up from the New York City FC Academy, 2-time U.S. Development Academy national champion with the New York City U19s. Tony Leon. Halftime at Cashman. Not too many chances, but a good back and forth game. Your takeaways, Andrew Driver.
Yeah, I think Oakland started the game particularly well, but I think Coach Trundle will have been happy with his Lights team, the way they adapted to the game. They defended really well, and it's gone from being a little bit end-to-end in the early stages to being a little bit of a chess match. The Lights towards the end of the half, though, started to take more of the ascendancy, and Musovski getting himself a couple of opportunities, and if they can keep feeding him, I think that's where the Lights will get most of their joy tonight.
Luz y Fuerza Las Vegas supporting their team as they head to the locker room. Dog night in Las Vegas. And the underdogs from Oakland putting in a game effort through 45 minutes. Halftime, it's Oakland nothing, Las Vegas nothing.
Nevada Donor Network is a proud partner of the Las Vegas Lights FC. We are asking for your help to save and heal lives. Registered organ, eye, and tissue donors give hope to the more than 650 Nevadans waiting for their second chance at life. You have the power to bring them hope. Register as a hero today at registerme.org. Together, we are Nevada strong.
Believe me, with a head as big as yours, there's nothing better than the Highlander. The Highlander will seat up to 8 people.
Ooh, John has piqued Cash's interest. He got him with the economic hybrid engine. Cash is low on cash, but thankfully, John has an attractive finance offer.
I'll do anything to sell you a car.
It's time to get back to making memories and enjoying your favorite activities with family and friends. Don't let aches, pains, or an injury slow you down. The therapists at Dignity Health Physical Therapy are here for you. With convenient locations throughout Nevada, Dignity's clinical experts will get you back to life. Go to dignityhealthpt.com to schedule an appointment. Dignity Health Physical Therapy believes movement is medicine and wants to help you experience the power of physical therapy today.
Dog night at Cashman Field in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas Lights at Oakland route scoreless through 45 minutes. Matt Peterson with former Houston Dynamo midfielder Andrew Driver, and a great night here from Nevada State College. They do a great job with teacher education prep in size and quality, and they also cultivate high school students interested in teaching through teaching academies across several area high schools.
Yeah, as a washed-up old soccer player with no qualifications, I might need to pay attention to Nevada State College, see if they have anything that I would be able to apply for.
Well, we want to find out more, so let's find out more about the Glenn and Andy Christensen School of Education building, which will open and welcome its first students this fall.
Nevada State is an exciting place. We focus on excellent teaching and great student support, small classrooms, a welcoming environment. But what they may not know is that this is a really modern college. We were able to build it from the ground up for the students we're trying to support. And so everything we do, from the professors we hire, to the programs we design, to the buildings we construct, is all designed to achieve our mission of helping students from all backgrounds achieve at their highest possible level.
We have a lot of new buildings. There's a lot of new rooms, a lot of new classrooms, new technology. I think we have like a really cool library because it's a digital library. So there's so much more space to study in here with the awesome atmosphere and environment with all the plants. It's really neat to see, but also going into a classroom that feels new is exciting. It makes you want to learn. It makes you want to sit there and be like, all right, I'm ready to do this, which is cool.
So in a lot of ways, our journey is just beginning. We have new fancy residence halls on campus. We're welcoming our Christensen Education building, and we have new programs on board. We have data science, which is specifically designed to meet some of the most exciting workforce needs in this entire region. And human health sciences is another one. And if you add it all together, I really believe that there couldn't be a more exciting time to come to Nevada State.
first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
City double their money, and how sweet the sound in Lynn Family Stadium.
Alex and Orlando de Castroverde, third-generation lawyers and lifelong Nevadans, grew up in the law.
USL news and notes here in Week 18. Orange County has relieved Braden Cloutier of his coaching duties. He was with the club since 2017.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise. They're in the playoffs, pushing up there towards in the middle of the season. So a big move. Obviously, they want to go in a different direction.
Rufat Dadashov transferred to FC Schalke 04-2. He had 15 goals and 6 assists. It's a crowded front line for Phoenix.
Yeah, we watched the Rising Against the Lights recently, and he wasn't there. So I think maybe that it's been in the making for a while. Maybe he wants to get back over to Europe.
Meanwhile, USL on ESPN continues. Hartford Athletic hosting Lou City September 7th on ESPN2, 7 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. And Andrew, here's the upcoming schedule. Austin and New Mexico, Orange County going to Charleston, and New Mexico visiting Phoenix.
Yeah, so a lot. We're in the meat of the season now, aren't we? A lot of games, a lot of tight games. Phoenix and Oakland will be looking forward to playing against Phoenix, obviously the big team, and for a team in their first season, playing against the big guys is what they want to do.
One team climbing the Pacific table, Tacoma, in the playoff places entering the weekend. We'll come back. Highlights coming up here at halftime in Las Vegas.
Alex and Orlando de Castroverde, third-generation lawyers and lifelong Nevadans, grew up in the law. They've built de Castroverde Law Group personal injury on their family principles. When you've been injured, they'll fight the insurance companies, seek maximum compensation, and stand by you the entire way. Just like family. De Castroverde Law Group personal injury. Our family will fight for yours.
Let's go, come on! Don't you do it. It's just a little water in the road. The light is green, there's places to go. It's just a little water in the road. The flash flood grows, how deep, who knows? The other cars made it. Watch and learn, let me show you how it goes. Loco!
Ooh la la!
Yep.
It's time to get back to making memories and enjoying your favorite activities with family and friends. Don't let aches, pains, or an injury slow you down. The therapists at Dignity Health Physical Therapy are here for you. With convenient locations throughout Nevada, Dignity's clinical experts will get you back to life. Go to dignityhealthpt.com to schedule an appointment. Dignity Health Physical Therapy believes movement is medicine and wants to help you experience the power of physical therapy today.
At Silver State Schools Credit Union, we'll be by your side through every moment of life's journey, from big life changes to small celebrations and everything in between, because we prioritize people over profit. Become a member today and have a financial partner for life.
Las Vegas Light Soccer is presented by Nevada State College. Be bold, be great, be state. By Silver State Schools Credit Union, prioritizing people over profit. By Westgate Las Vegas, discover legendary Vegas fun. And by Your View Las Vegas, catch replays of the lights every Saturday. Dog night in Las Vegas. We love putting Andrew Driver on the spot. What species is that?
That's a French bulldog.
How certain are you?
95%.
We'll go with it. On dog night at Cashman Field, the tunnels are out, the obstacle course is happening, and he's going in the tunnel with the French Bulldog. Matt Peterson with former Houston midfielder Andrew Driver. That was a good 45 minutes. No goals, but chances on both ends.
Yeah, I felt after the first 20 minutes it was going to be a barnstormer with plenty of goals, but then the game kind of slowed down and they figured out each other's tactics, and it became a little bit more of a chess match, but I thought it was very entertaining, and I look forward to an action-packed second half.
You would not know both these teams had road games on Wednesday. Let's look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes. It's the second ever meeting between Las Vegas and Oakland. Vegas won in Oakland on July 10th. Oakland making the trip to Vegas for the first time early on. Here's Bryce Duke.
Yeah, Bryce Duke was really impactful early on. Elmas Mari here, we were screaming for him to take a shot. He tried to cut back when it was pulled out. Great work from here from Milosky, who's also impressed me a lot tonight. This time, I think it was Torres with the strike. Almost a little bit of nice skill, almost got him through for a second opportunity. It was entertaining to start the game, wasn't it? Plenty of opportunities.
America getting the start against his former team, Uche doing the work. Rando making the save at the near post.
Yeah, Rando's been fantastic all season. His position is excellent, and he was in the right position there on that time. And then this man, Quezada, we mentioned how important it was for the lights. He came back, and great skill there to get an opportunity playing from fullback.
And then Quezada from Musovski. Flag may have been up, but Musovski disappointed either way.
Musovski's 3 chances now. I think he's getting closer and closer. I think it's one night tonight. I think he will fancy his chances of getting on the score sheet.
This was great defending from DeRoma. Stayed on his feet and just waited for his mark. And then Musovski for Elmas Mari to test Blanchett.
Yeah, I think that was the one where either side of the goalkeeper by 2 yards, that's a goal. Great play from Elmas Mari. And here's what I mentioned earlier from Musovski. He's getting into the dangerous areas. That was a great little turn and shot. And the lights, obviously, you see there the amount of opportunities they've had.
An early possession advantage for Oakland. Vegas brought it nearly back to 50-50. 9 shots for Steve Cherundolo's side.
The last 10 minutes was all Vegas, I think. With Musovski's opportunities, they continue to play like that. I think they're in a good position to go on and win the game. The lights possession, they were down 60-40 at one point, so to come back and almost be even in the possession, and you see how well they've come back into the game.
Making sure the net is still intact for the second half. What will the second half have in store? It ended 2-1 at Las Positas College on July 10th between these two sides in the first ever meeting. Here we are, 6 weeks later, scoreless through 45 minutes. Vegas in the black uniforms, Oakland in the white and black, and here we go in the second half. Andrew Driver, what are you expecting from these teams in the first few minutes coming out of halftime?
More of the same. Well, the lights will want more of the same. I think Oakland will potentially want to get a little bit more possession. They've in the last half of this first half, they struggled to keep hold of the ball, and the lights have started to become a little bit more dominant. But I think both teams will have gone in fairly happy with their performance. It's definitely a game that could go either way, the way it's sat right now.
Good timing on the challenge from Uche. Torres slides in there between two. It's a free kick to Las Vegas, won by Duke. No changes for either side. Would expect to see Wallfall off the bench, the 28-year-old captain who scored a great free kick against New Mexico to get a 1-1 draw. Jeremy Bokilla, the 32-year-old who has scored twice this season for Oakland. He also could be a Weapon for Jordan Farrell in Oakland. Duke stood up that time.
It is a game like this where it's so tight and so even. It's going to be the quality players that will make the difference. And you have the likes of Duke, you have the likes of Masovsky for the lights, and then on the opposite side, Fall is obviously on the bench. But it's going to take, it may take something special for one of those guys with the class to turn the game.
Meanwhile, for Steve Cherundolo in Las Vegas, Danny Trejo and Julian Vasquez appear two good attacking options for Coach Cherundolo. Now, Wallfall did check in, the 28-year-old from Frankfurt, Germany. He replaced Johannes Harish. Took a knock in that first half. So Fall is in. He's been a talisman the last few weeks for Jordan Farrell and has that playoff pedigree from prior teams. Here is Quezada, great forward run. Alvaro Quezada on his right, and now is blocked. Perfect timing on the block from Emra Clementa. And boy, just shot out of a cannon when he comes back. Here, the flag stays down, and Masovsky has scored. Second phase of that attacking move, initially set up by Quezada. Oakland never cleared it, and Masovsky has his goal, and it surely was coming.
Yeah, it's a free opportunity in the first half, and I think the fact that he's not celebrating there shows that that goal's been coming, and he should have been celebrating 2 or 3 times already tonight. He's probably disappointed that he's only got 1 right now, but we did mention he's putting himself in the right position, and he was going to score if he did that. In this case, it was a clearance, and it's dangerous when the ball's cleared and you don't follow your man. A great little ball from Duke, like we mentioned. You have that class on the pitch. A lovely little dink pass into Masovsky. His first touch is fantastic, and a little toe punt through the goalkeeper, nutmeg into the back of the net. And the promising start to the second half, and the lights, and a great goal. And you can see him have that little bit of a wry smile there, just happy to finally get the goal, and he's deserved it.
Henderson, Nevada native, 4th goal for Las Vegas this season in his 11th appearance. For Bryce Duke, his 3rd assist for Las Vegas on the season, and his 11th appearance as well. And I think Vegas tonight, they've been at their best when they play that first-time ball. No settling touch, it's on, go make a play. Yeah,
and I think a lot of that's come from Duke, especially running from midfield into those attacking areas. This time it was a first-time ball over the top. Yeah, they played some fantastic balls into Masovsky's feet, and this time a little bit of a dink ball over the top for Masovsky to run onto.
Throw in here, Quezada will take it. Seconds before the goal, that was Quezada sort of starting the sequence. He's got some life in those legs tonight. We've seen him just time and again from his left back position. It's almost like the more field he has in front of him, the more he can use his athletic tools.
It's funny though, because he's obviously playing fullback, but he can play in different positions, and when he breaks into those attacking areas, he doesn't play like a fullback anymore. In that instance, you saw the way he ran across the defenders that were defending. That's more of like a wide player or an attacking player's style of play. He commits defenders and goes past them and runs across them, which is a brave skill to have. So we've mentioned it numerous times this season. It's difficult for him because he plays different positions all the time. But as a player, as a whole player, he has great quality, and he's definitely got the energy and fitness today.
Hernandez, low cross, well blocked by Leon and cleared. And early on, when we asked Steve Cherundolo about Alvaro Quezada, he said he's a coach's dream. He has the technical quality, but he's physically there as well. He has a lot of athleticism. I think when you see him and his technical ability, you might underestimate his physical qualities, but we've seen him tonight with the long stride of the open field. He can bring the pace as well.
Yeah, and the energy. And that's why left back isn't too bad for him. It doesn't put him out like a fish out of water, because he has that pace and he has that ability to go up and down and run the line all for 90 minutes. And he did it. He's done it tonight so far. And I like seeing him open those legs and dash forward like he did.
America wide to the left. How can Oakland respond? The flag is up. It's a Vegas restart. Danny Masovsky, his 4th goal for Las Vegas this season, assisted by Bryce Duke. Masovsky grew up nearby Henderson to Liberty High School, had 58 goals in a single season. 128 career goals, both Nevada State high school records. Hernandez, been very active tonight for Oakland. This is good from the roots. Off to the left. Deflected cross, dangerous to the back post, redirected by Amarikwa. Good work from Vegas, a lot of black shirts defending the penalty area. Good settling touch, Takahashi. Oloski goes down, and there's a tying goal. It is Hernandez, covering all sorts of ground all night. Vegas could not clear the cross. 2 or 3 chances in that sequence for Oakland Roots, and Jose Hernandez has his first goal with Oakland Roots.
He's deserved that tonight, hasn't he? He's shown a lot of energy. There's a couple of times in the first half where he made fantastic runs in behind, and this time it's another case for the Lights where Oloski playing at right back isn't an out-and-out defender, and this is a mistake that would be made by an out-and-out defender. If he's not going to win the header there, he can't go for it. He's got to just turn around and stand Hernandez up. Because he's trying to clear the header, Hernandez has taken a great touch past him. He hasn't been able to react, and it was really well taken from Hernandez. Touch inside, and there's not really much Randall can do. Randall was rooted to the spot, and a good reaction from the Roots to come back into the game so quickly.
The cross came from Jesus Enriquez. He played for Reno last year. The goal comes from Jose Hernandez. It's his first goal in his 7th start for Jordan Farrell in Oakland. He's 25, born in Mexico City, came up in the Real Salt Lake, Arizona Academy. Spent a couple of years at UCLA, but is well-traveled throughout the USL Championship. Real Monarchs, LA Galaxy 2, last year with OKC Energy. And now his first goal with Oakland Roots, and he was energetic, a live wire for Oakland in the first half, and he's rewarded with the goal here in the second. Meanwhile, Quezada wide for the left. It's Torres for Vegas, central. First touch, Sepulveda getting involved. Masovsky dispossessed. And Oakland will break the other way. Sepulveda popping up in the attacking area that time. Here's Amarikwa with Enriquez. That's an excellent ball, but headed away by Oloski. Here comes Rando.
It's end-to-end stuff, isn't it now? Really, really insane. This is what the game started like in the first half, and they've replicated that in the second. This time we've been treated to 2 goals. And it's now going to be a case of who can start to dominate the game, because both teams are really going a little bit gung-ho right now.
See the confidence there of Roma, man on his back, outside of the foot, little one-touch pass for Sepulveda.
That's what he's good at, that, isn't he? Especially in tight areas. He loves to play in these tight positions like that.
Almasmari back for Roma, return ball. Good positioning. He's really had a nice night. Soya Takahashi, the 25-year-old Japanese defender.
Yeah, he's solid. He is good. Elmas Mari's tried to take him for pace down the line a few times, but he showed strength and good positioning to prevent Elmas Mari from going past him.
Playing out of the back, Masovsky pressuring. Despite the growth, Nevada State is still able to maintain a median class size of just 24 students. Nevada State College. Torres drops into midfield to help. Now it's Quezada. Spun himself out of play, throwing to Oakland.
Often when you score a goal, the next 10 minutes is always going to be the most important time. You don't want to concede that. And the Lights, I think, will be particularly disappointed that they've allowed the Roots to get instantly back into the game. And it looks now like the Roots are the more confident. You see the body language, they seem particularly energetic and hungry now.
48th minute goal from Danny Masovsky. A response 4 minutes later from Jose Hernandez. Quezada down. Checked on by Memo Diaz. treatment here for Quezada.
Just been a little bit more feisty in the last 5 minutes. The game's really getting a little bit meaty out there. Some more challenges going in. It's both teams really up for it now. They fancy their chances of winning the game, and often when you play as many games as these guys do, tempers start to run, you start to get tired, and you start getting a little bit more aggressive.
Part of a great UC Irvine team. He played with Daniel Crisostomo at UC Irvine and Roberto Molina. We mentioned Molina called up to El Salvador's national team for a friendly with Costa Rica this weekend. Molina's just 20, Quezada's 22. Quezada played for LA Premier FC, now known as LA Surf Soccer Club. Well, we've mentioned this early on in this season. He was the number 68 overall pick and signed a full LAFC contract back in April. But just shows, even at a pretty good soccer school like UC Irvine, a player like him not drafted till selection 68.
It shows you, doesn't it, the strength of the US soccer now. It's the improvements, and sometimes guys fall, but I think half of that will be the fact that what is his actual position, because he's so good in different ones.
This is excellent from Oakland, edge of the area. Jeroma got the challenge just on time.
When you excel in different positions, it's hard for a team to say, like, you go into a draft and think we need a left back. Like, often someone like Quezada is going to be like, who can do numerous things, who do we think's got potential?
Tony Leon is okay. 17-year-old from Long Beach. One of the first to sign with the LAFC Academy. He came over from Total Football Academy, and one of the first 3 homegrown signings, along with Christian Torres. Here's Sepulveda. What a year of growth it's been for him, learning from Crisostomo and Frank Jeroma and others. More of a substitute behind Crisostomo, but since Crisostomo's signing with LAFC, more of a starter. Sepulveda. Duke will restart. Crisostomo on the bench for Bob Bradley and LAFC tonight, and Mamadou Fall in the starting lineup for LAFC. Duke with the restart here in the 60th minute. 2 goals since halftime, 1 for each side. Low delivery. Cleared by the goal scorer, Jose Hernandez. Nice touch from Owereka. Slips away from Quezada. Has support on his right. Excellent pass. Centered. Rando got a hand on it, but it's in. Counter attack from Oakland. From 1 down to up 1. It's Jesus Enriquez, the provider on the first goal. His name on the score sheet for the second. And Oakland has a lead on the hour mark.
That's a clinical counter-attack from the roots to go on and score. He's taken the goal very well. Randall was so unlucky, almost got a hand to it. But for me, you need to defend it well, Quezada's, that's a weak clearance from Quezada, and Amiroquai maybe doesn't have the pace he had in the past, but lovely ball into the attacker, and then he's kind of missed it into the ground. He's gone over Randall, and clinical from the roots on the counter-attack, and they've come from behind, and obviously now very excited with that goal, and it was an exciting attack, actually, very, very pacey and direct.
Jesus Enriquez, his second goal for Oakland roots in his 13th appearance. Came up with Tijuana's academy, played for the B team, and Rio Grande Valley for 2 years, San Antonio FC last year, and a spell with Reno. Signed right before the new year with Oakland. Some good resilience from Jordan Farrell's team. And they're getting turnovers in good spots. Now Amarikwa tries his luck from 35 yards out. That's well covered by Rando.
Hernandez scored the goal, but it all comes from Amarikwa. Enrique scored the goal, but it all comes from the play from Amarikwa. He showed his experience. He's running at the defender. He's played a fantastic ball down the line, and that's where he shows his experience as a player and the quality he can do. And you can't make that mistake that Quezada did and give Amarikwa the opportunity to break forward like that.
Nice work. Almasmar tried to find Duke, well defended by Clementa. And you see Oakland now buzzing around the field. They have energy after the 2 goals.
It's incredible how a game can turn, isn't it? The Lights' early goal in the second half looked in the ascendancy. They dominated the end of the first. They looked like there was only one team going to go on and win it. And the Roots have just completely turned it around. And now you're looking at this now and you're thinking, do the Lights have the ability to come back into the game? Because they look a little bit dejected right now.
4 on Wednesday against San Diego, 2 tonight. Now 6 second-half goals allowed by Vegas in the last 2 games.
You can see signs here that the stats have become a little bit disjointed. We mentioned early in the game.
Takahashi's cross backside. It was right there for a second for Enriquez, but he could not keep it down.
We mentioned earlier before the game that they haven't potentially been defending as a unit. They started the game particularly well at defending the unit, but now you see huge gaps in the team. The midfield is so far away from the attackers. The defenders are wide. They're not a tight unit, and you see the Roots are starting to pick them off and find opportunities.
Torres shouldered off it. Torres stayed with the play. Here's Torres with his head up at the end line. Torres centering. Duke arriving and cleared. Nice work from Torres not to give up on that play.
Great play by Torres, wasn't it? I like the fact he kept running down the line. Found a great ball in for Duke. I think he's just tried to open his leg up, open his right foot to hit the ball, and he just maybe didn't get enough pace on the strike.
Better strength from Uche there, dealing with the Amarikwa. Came at him like a bowling ball.
That's what we said earlier in the game. Amarikwa, he's all strength, he's all body. He uses his body outstandingly well. He's probably one of those players that is particularly, as a defender, you don't want to play against.
Bruce Elmasmari picks his head up, off to the right. Yoloski will pull it back. Sepulveda, clipped in ball. Headed away. It had to be there. If not, Masovsky was waiting 8 yards out.
Yeah, good little ball into the box. The defender was struggling going back to his own goal. He's ended up doing pretty well to clear the danger, but much better from the Lights. They need to continue this little phase of play.
2 on for Jordan Farrell. Jeremy Bokilla, the 32-year-old from Democratic Republic of Congo. 20 caps. Getting a star showing at the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations. Bokilla will replace Jose Hernandez, who was running off and then realized, hey, we're up 2-1.
But to be honest, there's one man on the field that has put the energy in and deserves to take his time. I think that man, he had a particularly good first half and then obviously scored the goal in the second and deserves a good rest.
Jonathan Rodriguez is the second change for Jordan Farrell. Bokilla, 20 caps for his country. Democratic Republic of the Congo. They went to the Africa Cup of Nations semifinals in 2015. He scored 2 goals in that tournament. The corner kick from Duke is headed away. Eloski on the backside, his shot is cleared.
Yeah, Bokilla has some resume, doesn't he? He's played for some top teams, the likes of Cluj in Romania. I think for a few years they're in the Champions League. So he's obviously great stature and not a person to bring off the bench. You can see how he is a large lad. It might be difficult to defend against.
The time in Belgium, Romania, Russia, China, and Turkey team up in the Apeldoorn Academy in the Netherlands.
It's actually, it's on the outskirts of Arnhem at one point, and where I lived when I lived in the Netherlands. It's a nice little town. It's a high reputation. It's like a non-league team, but they have a reputation of bringing through some really good young players.
Now Steve Cherundolo going to his bench. Danny Trejo will come on. Christian Torres will come off, and Armando Avila, who started the last 2 games in the back, he will enter here in the 67th minute. Trejo back from injury, has played the last few games, good energy off the bench. How would you assess Torres' performance tonight?
I think he was a little bit quiet of the 3 up more progressive attacking players for the Lights. He was probably the quieter of the 3. I think that's maybe been his issue this year. He can be brilliant at times, but then can also be fairly quiet in other games. But as a young player, that can happen.
Quezada comes off. Avila replaces him. There's a direct ball over the top. Leon back for Rando. First time clearance comes off Bokilla. It's back for Bokilla. It's hit the post. Still alive in the corner. Vegas scrambling.
You can't make these errors. You keep making these errors, you're going to be in the game, you're going to be 3-1 down with no way of getting back. I'm not sure what Uche was doing there. Sometimes you've just got to clear your lines. And Bokilla, I think he'll be wondering how he didn't score this. Back to the goalkeeper. Rando, mistake number 1 there. And Cici Uche taking his time. A terrible touch. And Bokilla should have potentially scored. And a lucky escape for the Lights. As a manager, that's got to be so frustrating.
Danny Trejo, nice touch. Here's Trejo off the bench, centering it. Well covered by Blanchette. Strong hands to the Oakland goalkeeper with Duke lurking.
Good play from Trejo. That's what you want to see. Coming off the bench, you want to see the energy. He's done that run down the line first time. Great feet to go past the defender. Really nice piece of skill. Get down the line, and Duke was thundering in at the front post. Just good goalkeeping, to be fair. He's put his body in where he could have got hurt.
And Andrew, would you say there's a huge difference between playing calm and playing out the back, and then also just kind of having a melees and not understanding the danger? And that's what we've seen at times this year from Vegas. There's another pass through. Well, Samba here from Oakland. Hard challenge from Daroma. Nice touch again. Enriquez's cross hits the hip of Uche. Appeals for a handball. Another shot is blocked. Still alive for Oakland. Duke hustling over there. Throw into Oakland.
Back to what you mentioned. I don't think we've seen much of that from the Lights in terms of mistakes like that. We haven't seen Rando make poor kicks like that. Cici Uche is usually very secure at the back. I think for some reason they've just, and the same with Quezada with the poor clearance before, for some reason they're making these little errors and little mistakes. And here we're looking at a handball. Yeah, I think the Roots had a bit of a shout there, to be honest. His arm was on his side.
Into Bokilla, dispossessed by Trejo. Trejo fouled on his way out. But I guess my question framed a different way would be, it's great to play out of the back, it's great to remain calm under pressure, but I think sometimes in the course of doing that in training, game after game, you lose that sense of danger. In a moment like Uche had, taking that touch, might have been better just to first time back to the goalkeeper, first time wide, understand that Oakland kind of is sniffing this a little bit.
I understand what you're saying, but as a coach who wants to play football, you have to give the guys permission to play. And if they're going to feel, if you're going to call them out for making mistakes like that, they're never going to play out from the back. So you want them to be confident. You want them to say, listen, it's going to happen sometimes. You're going to make mistakes. And you want to encourage them to continue to do it. So I don't think that's the problem. I think in these instances, it's little poor touches and not having the awareness. And as a coach, you can defend as a back four and plug gaps and work together, but it's hard to stop individual errors like that. So I don't know how that's crept in the last couple of games.
Nevada State College is proud to have more than 60% of our students coming from multicultural backgrounds. It also has been identified nationally as a minority serving institution, MSI, Hispanic serving institution, HSI, and Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution. Here's a change. It's the end of the line for Bruce Elmas-Mari. And he is replaced by Vasquez. Julian Vasquez comes on.
It's just incredible, isn't it? The 20 minutes difference, the Lights scored the goal. They were all energetic, all smiles. And now they just feel like it's a little bit dejected, don't you? You feel a little bit down in dumps. And that can happen when you're going on a little bit of a run where you've not won games, you've come off a poor defeat in the previous game. They need to stick at it, they need to keep pulling together. And the only way they'll get out of it is with hard work and determination.
Avia. Sepulveda. DeRoma. Duke lost it. That was Fall tracking back. Nice work from Wall Fall, and then Duke hustled back himself to win it.
Yeah, good hustle. That's exactly what they need.
Trejo with Duke. Avila has sort of got a no man's land there. I think stopped his run. Now it's Trejo with a step over. Trejo in the box, went down, and it's waved off. Matthew Corrigan had a good view of it.
I thought for a second, the way he was waving his arm, it looked like he was pointing at the spot. And I think I agree with Coach Trundle here. I think that is a penalty. I don't think he's made a foul, but he's rugby tackled him going into the box. And regardless of him slipping, you still can't impede someone like that going into the box. For me, that is a stonewall penalty, and the Lights rightfully hard right to feel aggrieved off that.
He's falling down, and then he deliberately moves in the path of Trejo to block him.
Yeah, he's fallen down. He's tried to save himself, but in trying to save himself, he's impeded Danny Trejo, and Trejo eventually went down a little bit easy, and I think maybe that's what the referee's seen, is a little bit of the theatrics. But for me, as a footballer, you're going to do that because you feel the contact, and you're going to go down, and you feel like it is a penalty. Trejo, I've really liked the way he's played when he's come on. He had a long setback of injury, and when he's come on since then, he's shown a lot of energy, and tonight he's shown real good skill, and he's shown the ability to go past defenders. The reason he was fouled in that instance is because he made the defender lose his footing.
Coach Trundle told me yesterday by phone that they were very patient with Trejo. He had to deal with the difficult rehab, and he said he needs games. And they're trying to give him those games, but managing his workload to kind of bring him on slowly here in the middle of the season. Sepulveda tried the slip pass. It's fallen to Johnny Rodriguez here for Oakland. Sepulveda works his way back to win possession. Deep throw-in for Oakland. As the 18 to 25-year-old freshman enrollment grew, Nevada State found a stronger need for more engaged campus activities. The college started its first child care program for students and built its first on-campus student housing. DeRoma, direct. Clementa read it well. Mokilla wide for the right. Oakland down 1-0 has scored the last two. 52nd minute, Jose Hernandez, and then Enriquez, the go-ahead goal in the 60th minute. Bryce Duke here for Las Vegas. Avila. Trejo.
See, the Roots have made a couple of changes here now. They're going to be very difficult to break down. They've gone to the more traditional. They've been a little bit more offensive in a 4-2-3-1. I think you can see them now starting to go into a 4-5-1 with the one striker and the 5 midfielders across the middle to try and they may come under a little bit of pressure from the lights, and I think they want to put bodies back there to prevent it.
So how can Vegas counter? Should they still try to play through that, or maybe more direct?
You just have to get the ball wide and go across and try and open up the midfield and try and find the gaps in between. You have the quality up there. You've got Trejo, you've got Masovsky, you've got Duke, so they've got the players who can find the pass, but you need to move the 5 midfielders across and open up the gaps.
Nice takeover, Bokilla, excellent tackle from Leon. It had to be right from the LAFC homegrown.
Yeah, great tackle from Leon, wasn't it? He really timed that well. Nice skill for such a big guy from the Bokilla. Leon read it perfectly, kept his eye on the ball and managed to do a perfectly timed sliding tackle.
Wall fall, nifty touch into the path of Johnny Rodriguez. Masovsky opened the scoring for Las Vegas, 48th minute. Vegas had a lead for 4 minutes before Jose Hernandez in the 52nd. And Jesus Enriquez in the 60th. Fall leaves it for Takahashi. Shoya Takahashi against Iloski.
Some nice touches fall since he came on, hasn't he? Very good awareness, knows where his teammates are. Trying to dictate the pace of the game.
Confidence of the goal scorer Enriquez here. Orange County leading San Diego 2-1, 81st minute. Torero Stadium. Be a big result for Orange County if that holds. Takahashi on the overlap has 2 in the box. Centering ball just too far for Bokilla. Would have been a tap in for the Congolese forward, Bokilla, who did his best to get there, but with the outstretched foot, just missed.
That's good, that man fall again, playing out wide, and he's played a magnificent ball into the danger area. Bokilla just not getting there in time. I think Cici Uche felt he might have been impeded in that situation, but dangerous again from the Roots.
Here's Duke the other way. Duke in the box. Cleared. Corner kick coming for Las Vegas.
I think they've given a goal kick. That was offside.
Offside for Bryce Duke.
Roots are going to take the time on all these set pieces now. They're going to go long. They're not going to take any chances.
Enriquez, he has the game-winning goal at this moment. Bokilla. Under the foot of Enriquez. Another change. Entering for Oakland. Hakeem O'Connor Ward. He was due a break. He entered play tonight. The most minutes for Oakland, 11:51. This is 13 starts before tonight. Hakeem O'Connor Ward replaces the goal scorer Jesus Enriquez. For Alex Rando. Uche with Leon.
I think the Roots have done particularly well, haven't they? They've come from behind, and as the game's gone on, they've gotten more comfortable and more assertive. For a team that was bottom of the division when you came into the game, they've shown the traits of a team that knows how to win a game. Often you see teams that are down the bottom, they just don't have that extra little bit of nous that can get the results when you're up against it. Tonight they've come from behind and they're showing they know how to win a game.
Good win in a good spot. Kept alive. Bokilla has scored. Somehow he won it on the edge of the box from a tough angle, beat Rando. Something out of nothing there from Oakland. It's the third goal of the year for Jeremy Bokilla.
Yeah, he's taken it well, hasn't he? He's a big unit. He's done particularly well since he came on. And I think this time it was a really good finish. He's feinted the cross and played it on the inside. Any goalkeeper getting beat on their near post won't be happy. But again, a mistake from Miloski. You can't give the ball away in those situations. Good play, good strength by Bokilla, and right down the inside. I think there may be a shout for a little bit of a foul. And he slotted it right down the near post. I think Rando might be a little bit disappointed, but really good finish from Bokilla. He did everything he needed to do.
We saw the arm extended against Leon. Is that a foul or kind of a 50-50 call for a referee?
When it's the arm out extended like that, you couldn't complain if it was given as a free kick, I think. But he's such a big guy. If he's going to, every time he'd foul the ball, it would be a free kick against him. So when you're moving at such pace, it can look a lot more than it actually was. I don't know if Tony Leon maybe stumbled a little bit and lost his footing.
3-1 Oakland. 3 unanswered goals for Oakland Roots. Now Musovski. Trejo. Dispossessed. Out to midfield. Uche against Jeremy Bokilla all the way back to Rando. Oakland has one road win before tonight. It was back on May 23rd at LA Galaxy 2, a 3-2 win.
I think it's been the second half, the last 30 minutes has been very unlights-like. There's very rarely have we watched games at Cashman in which the lights aren't in the ascendancy in the second half. They normally improve as the game goes on, but today for some reason I'm not sure if it's the form, if it's lacking a little bit of confidence. They've kind of gone into their shell a little bit in the second half.
Christopher Jaime, the 17-year-old from San Diego, comes on. Nathan Sepulveda gets a handshake from Coach Tarundolo before departing. Jaime signed to a USL Academy contract by Las Vegas in May. 2 years with LAFC Academy after time with Nomads. Interestingly, the Oakland road win at LA2 back in May, the game-winning goal came from Bokilla, 91st minute. And on that night, he also came off the bench. Uche, a frustration header that time, commits the foul against Bokilla. Yellow card to CC Uche.
CC needs to be a little bit careful. He's obviously angry, a little bit disappointed, I think, with the way things are gone. He's getting a little bit frustrated, and I think Bokilla took exception to the aggressiveness of CC there. Right through the back of him, no real chance of, to be honest, he's gone to win the ball. I think it was aggressive, but I'm not sure it was a yellow card, to be honest. It's kind of a strange one for the Lights, isn't it? They haven't performed great in the last half an hour, but you wouldn't say individually there's poor performances. It's kind of been like individual mistakes here and there that has cost them in this second half.
Be careful with Wall Fall here. He has 2 free kick goals in his last 3 games. both coming from outside the area. This one looks more like he's going to deliver it rather than strike it on target. That's to the back post, dangerous ball. He's surprised he didn't go for goal there, given his recent form.
Given the free kick he scored in the previous game, you would have expected him to hit it from all distances and angles, wouldn't you? He just tried, I think, took the easy option there a little bit.
Had the tying goal against New Mexico on Wednesday. Coach Jordan Farrell speaking with the USL Championship website, talked about how important fall is. He was pegged to be the captain all year, but dealt with injury most of the early season, and now they're getting him back in the middle of the season. Could be unbeaten in 4 if this result holds for Oakland. Missed clearance, corner kick coming for Las Vegas.
I think with the Roots, it's definitely a case of a team that is having to, the further the season goes on, the better they improve, and they're starting to play well together.
Arito's corner kick for Bryce Duke. Fall on good teams with St. Louis, Ottawa, and Rochester, trying to bring that pedigree to Oakland. Matthew Corrigan sorting things out before this corner kick.
I'm not sure. I think something may have been thrown onto the pitch.
To the near post, headed away. Oloski back for Duke. He stayed on side. Duke for Oloski. Oloski, good ball. Back post, nobody there. Masovsky made a run. Nobody behind him.
That's why I say Oloski gets into those dangerous situations often, and that was a fantastic ball. Just unfortunately, no one read it into the right area. Good play from Duke. Well, the pace on that ball was perfect. It was a difficult pass to get it through, and a really dangerous ball across the 6-yard box.
Vasquez, nice run. Throw in to Las Vegas. More solid defending there from Soya Takahashi. Oloski here for Las Vegas. Into the 90th minute from Cashman Field. Jaime. Nice pass. 4 in the box for Vegas. Strong challenge. Referee had a good view once again. That strike is well saved by Blanchette. He stayed tuned in. He had to look through traffic, and he covered up at his near post.
The ball falls out to the right back, and I'm like, don't hit it. And he's done a magnificent strike. A really, really good save. The ball was absolutely moving. It was a fantastic strike. Good save in the end. Was it Oloski who hit it?
It might have been one of the center backs. It could have been Leon. It could have been Avila. See Avila popping up here. Here's Oloski crossing. It's flicked on. Poor clearance. Trejo onto his right. Danny Trejo tried to thread it to the upper corner.
I think he just maybe held on to the ball that split second too long. By trying to get the ball out of his feet, he's had to take a couple of extra touches, and it left the Roots time to get back in a little bit. At least the lights are going for it. They've not given up. They've not laid down. They're still trying to force something out of the game. Nice turn back inside. Just there, I think he didn't get it out of his feet far enough to be able to get a good strike at the ball.
Okilla, nice turn. Okilla stayed on his feet, crossed from the right, headed over the bar. Mauche corner kick coming to Oakland.
Big Okilla has nice feet for such a big guy, doesn't he? Great strength. Almost manufactured an opportunity on his own there through the strength and Feet work, footwork.
Footwork, yeah.
Footwork.
If there's one, it's a foot. If there's more than one, it's feet. But it really was a good turn, Andrew, and then he stayed on his feet with 2 challenges coming from Vegas defenders. Jordan Farrell, instructions for his team now in second half stoppage time.
I think he'll be an extremely satisfied man tonight, won't he? His team has showed courage to come back into the game and signs of, well, flashes of quality throughout the game, and to go 4 games unbeaten now, that's no mean feat in this division with how competitive it is.
A 4-point road trip to New Mexico and Las Vegas with the games 4 days apart. Nevada State offers more than 60 majors and minors, including business, criminal justice, deaf studies, education, nursing, data science, visual media, and speech language pathology. It's committed to teacher education preparation. Here's Trejo. Danny Trejo. Deflected shot, corner kick coming for Vegas. Well, it looked deflected. He may have scuffed it on the grass as Matthew Corrigan pointed to the goal kick spot, and Trejo did not really argue.
He did all the hard work, didn't give himself the space, and he's tried to hit it. And I think he's took a divot out of the ground before he's made contact with the ball. He's shown he's definitely getting sharper. He's definitely, the more minutes Trejo plays, he's looking more of a threat. He's been quite impressive when he's come on tonight. He just hasn't had that final killer instinct yet, but that'll come with the extra minutes and the time played.
DeRoma. One in midfield. High wall fall. Goal kick for Vegas. Rando plays it short. Forward from Tony Leon. Too far from Musovski. Here comes Blanchett. After tonight, Vegas will host LA2 next Friday night from Cashman Field. Full time at Cashman Field, 3 unanswered goals from Oakland Roots. Vegas had a lead just a few minutes into the second half, but Oakland good resilience on the road. Go-ahead goal in the 60th minute from Enriquez. Insurance goal from Jeremy Bokilla in the 82nd, and Oakland has its 2nd road win of the season.
Yeah, they performed particularly well in the second half. A great performance from the Roots. I think you see the body language of the Lights. They're particularly disappointed with their performance tonight. To go ahead so early in the second half, you felt they were in the ascendancy and it was going well, and then out of nowhere, the Roots with the 2 goals and some individual errors started to creep into the Lights game. So I think one of their most disappointing nights of the season so far.
Wallfall came on and helped usher his side to a comeback victory. Vegas had some chances in the first half they did not put away. And in the end, just a few moments, a few breakdowns in the defensive half that Oakland capitalized upon.
Yeah, they were very clinical, the Roots, and they played exceptionally well after going behind. It was kind of like the goal for the Lights kick-started their game, and the substitutes also came on and made a difference. The Lights just didn't have the luck tonight to be able to come back into it. Normally we see the Lights make a big push in the last 10 minutes. I think maybe the amount of games in recent weeks maybe caught up with them a little.
Tonight's hardest working man of the match is presented by Laborers International, the hardest working guys in Vegas. And it's Danny Musovski who got off the mark with his 3rd goal of the season.
Yeah, it was a great finish, great ball from Dookie. He did work well today. No celebration, which said it all, I think, because he probably felt he could have had a hat-trick. He had a couple of chances in the first half, but he was dangerous. He was probably one of his better performances in the first hour tonight. He had many opportunities, could have had 2 or 3, but definitely deserved the goal.
4th goal of the year for Danny Musovski. Great body control, the settling touch, and then let the ball get away from him before he touched it into the net. Yeah,
and as a goalkeeper, it's probably the worst feeling in the world to have one toe poked through the legs, but really good striker's finish.
We'll take a break and wrap it up from Las Vegas. Full-time, Oakland, its first ever visit to Vegas, and they get a 3-1 win.
Area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care. We're proud to offer 11 conveniently located imaging centers across the valley. As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
Yo sé que tú puedes.
Tú puedes hacerlo, yo creo en ti. Estoy tan orgulloso de ti. No estás solo, estoy aquí para ti. No te rindas. Deja de fumar y vapear, por favor.
Please.
Sigue intentándolo, vale la pena. Eres la persona más fuerte que conozco.
Fuerte.
Yo te admiro. Yo te admiro.
Yo te admiro.
Eres mi modelo a seguir.
Deja de fumar y vapear hoy.
Hazlo por ti. Hazlo por ti. Hazlo por ti. Hazlo por ti. Hazlo por mí. Hazlo por mí.
Hazlo por mí.
Hazlo por nosotros.
Nuestros niños están mirando. Para obtener ayuda gratuita para dejar de fumar y vapear, llame a la línea de ayuda de Nevada al 1855 Déjelo Ya. Es el 1855 Déjelo Ya. 1855-335-3569. Por mí, por ti, por nosotros. Viva saludable.
My experience with tools dates back to when I was a child. It's a family business that I inherited. Tools are passed down, tools are handed over, and I have used every tool that you can think of. When I think about what I really need, I need for a tool to bring my vision into play. As I'm using the tool, it has to be an extension of my hand, of my arm, and make things simple. Honestly, I would simply say flex is what's next. When you can mix knowledge with great tools, it's life-changing.
Las Vegas Light Soccer is presented by the Castro Verde Law Group. They treat you like family. By Finlay Toyota, where John Barr will do anything to sell you a car. And by Jarritos, it's super good. Welcome back, Las Vegas, on a Saturday night in midsummer. It was dog night at Cashman, and the underdogs from Oakland pick up a 3-1 win. Matt Peterson with former Houston Dynamo midfielder Andrew Driver. And Andrew, typically at home, Vegas, a second half team. They usually turn games in their favor in the second half. The opposite happened tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange one, wasn't it? They got the goal early in the second half. It looked like they were in the ascendancy. They looked like they were going to kick on. They deserved to be in the lead. Musovski had a couple of chances at the end of the first half, but then the game just completely turned. A couple of goals, a goal 4 minutes later, and that really boosted the Roots, and they went on to dominate the game, and it was kind of flat from the Lights in the end.
Let's look at the full-time highlights of this one. A second all-time meeting, the first ever in Vegas between the Lights and Oakland Roots. Vegas won the first meeting July 10th. Both teams coming off midweek games. Vegas was at San Diego. Oakland was in New Mexico, and early on, Bryce Duke threading it for Bruce Elmas-Mari.
Yeah, Duke was really energetic early doors. He made a lot happen. This man himself, Quezada, as well, showed a lot of energy. I think he had a really good performance, actually, Quezada, tonight, playing from left back. Here he is again, delivering a great ball into Musovski. That was the first of his opportunities. He possibly could have had a hat-trick before half-time. You see here Elmas-Mari, great touch inside, a looping shot either side of the goalkeeper as a goal.
And then Torres, a takeover from Duke. This is a quality turn from Masovsky, but he could not connect clean enough, and this was great body control, his 4th of the year.
Yeah, his 4th of the year, and he could have had a couple in it tonight. He played well, man of the match, deservedly so. It's just funny that you thought that goal was going to be the determining factor, and actually the game changed from it.
This cross came from Enriquez, is picked up by Jose Hernandez, his 7th appearance for Oakland, and a well-taken goal, his 1st for Oakland.
Yeah, his first touch was sublime to come inside from Milosky, and then really good finish. Nothing the goalkeeper could do, but that changed the game on its head, didn't it?
And then a bad spot for a turnover. Quezada in retreat. Ameriqua, veteran play here, threaded it. Nice second pass. And a finish from Enriquez for a go-ahead goal.
Yeah, Ameriqua showing his classes and his experience there. Great weighted pass, and then the kind of fortunate on the finish, a little bit of a strike into the ground. And here you see Milosky making a mistake. We mentioned there was a few mistakes in the second half for the Lights. Big Bacalov used his strength and a really nice finish on the near post.
Now was Johnny Rodriguez injured for the first half of the season for Oakland, now back for his 2nd game of the year. Bokilla with his 3rd goal of the campaign. 2 of those coming off the bench. 16 shots for Vegas, but only 1 goal.
Yeah, 16 shots, 4 on target, and I think most of them will have come in the first hour. They were exceptional until the Roots equalizer, and then it kind of just went a little bit flat. But on another night, the Lights could have been 2 or 3 up early doors, and it would have been a different game.
Okay, Andrew Driver, Vegas stays home. They host LA Galaxy 2 on Friday. How does Steve Trundle's group regroup before Friday?
I think they'll be happy they've got a week to rest and recuperate and try and get a little bit more confidence and energy in the legs. They've just got to forget about the last 3 games and move on. Get rid of the mistakes. I think it'll be individual mistakes have cost us. We need to cut them out, and as a team, the first hour was pretty good. Just the last half an hour, the mistakes crept in, and you ended up losing the game.
Oakland's busy schedule continues. The Roots hosting Phoenix on Wednesday. That will do it from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Both sides have a road victory in this series. The French Bulldog made its way through the tunnel at halftime. Hometown kid Danny Masovsky, the Henderson native, got his name on the score sheet, but it wasn't enough. For Andrew Driver and our entire crew, I'm Matt Peterson saying so long. Oakland on the road wins 3-1 over Las Vegas.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.